All right, welcome back, everyone. After a break, um, I thought we'd have a conversation about, basically our role as Block Party and as Solution Club, the role of basically our community and our meetings within the broader network, right? So, what is the broader network? How would we define that? I'd love to hear someone else's definition of the broader network, just to hear how others are thinking about it, and then I'm happy to offer mine. But if anyone would like to offer, it doesn't have to be a definition, just a characterization or just some words about it. What is this broader network that we're building? How would you describe it? How would you talk about it?
Kind of just in 2 words, like an ungoverned government.
An ungoverned government. I like it. I like it. Although interestingly, I think we will end up governing, right? It'll be a new form of governance, but it's governance by, I'm just gonna call it for what it'll be. Governance by what is obviously brilliant. If something is obviously brilliant, it's just like, well, brilliant, right? Just like those Guinness commercials from years ago. Brilliant, right? What is obviously brilliant, right? Shoot, that was a long time ago, those brilliant commercials. What was that, like 2004 World Cup or something like that? Anyway, so.
Well, we're trying to be innovative, right?
Trying
to use technology to the best, best way that we can. We're trying to raise awareness to what our concerns are in today's world. Like-minded people tend to want to gather together. Hopefully, we're able to touch the hearts and minds of people who wander down our path. When we expose ourselves and when we're able to be courageous enough to speak out and give voice to what our feelings are, and reach out to people to show empathy for how we are in our lives. We could get through rough times, and we are definitely facing some challenges on the planet now, and this is the best way we've been able to accomplish our idea, saving life on Earth and improving the situation of our existence here, and the existence of our future humanity, our children, and all kinds of life. So I'm here to participate. I'm not a young spring chicken. I am, like I said many times, reaching 65, and I've done my share of things in life. But I've had my failings. I could have done better in a lot of things. But you know, try to overcome what's been done. And do what I still can.
Beautiful, Emery. So glad you're here. Kevin, what's up, Kevin? How you doing?
Hey, what's the crack?
Yeah. Hey, good to see you.
Oh God, I just said what's the crack? That you're not meant to say that to American people, are you?
Oh, how do you say it? What's the crack?
Yeah, I hear that's bad to say to an American because it means something totally different to
Oh
us.
my goodness, I'm so offended. I am just. Oh my goodness, I'm just beside.
How are you anyway?
Doing good. And what's the crack with you?
I'm kind of tired, if I'm honest. Yeah, how's it going anyway? I heard there was a bit of messing around there tonight with a couple of people joining in.
Yeah, well, way earlier, in the morning, our time, or afternoon, your time, like 20 or so people stormed in and were saying all kinds of profanity. It seems like it's sort of this roaming mob in the Zoomosphere that just goes from meeting to meeting.
Okay.
Is the impression I get.
Yeah, just pranking people.
Yeah. But anyway, it was a good learning experience because it forced us to learn about the waiting room and how to configure that and how to use it and all that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there's something like, as I think you were saying earlier, even about the C word. You know, there's I think from anything bad that happens, there's something to be gained if you look at it that way. You know.
yeah. No, totally. And because I look back at the, just the most painful, the most seemingly hurtful experiences in life, and there's always something to be gained.
Yeah.
So Jamie, who was on earlier, Jamie Gilchrist, whose ancestors are from Ireland, he was just on briefly right before those folks. He was driving this car. He was on right before all those people swarmed in. Anyway, he's been pretty busy with family stuff lately. Otherwise, I think he'll be on more and more. But now, where was I going with that? What was I going to say about Jamie? We were just talking about. Help me out here, Kevin. We were just talking about.
American bad things happening.
Yes. I had actually totally forgot where we were going as well. So Stephanie,
that's right.
Save that.
So anyway, he and I went to as we've been developing this whole thing as a project, right? Collective intelligence, solar radiation management, and all that. A little over a year ago, he and I, going back over a year and a half ago, he and I were lobbying the Catholic Church here in the United States to both join us and also get a very important message to Pope Francis related to the encyclical that Pope Francis has written on climate change, Laudato Si. And so we got a meeting with with the Vicar General, the right hand of the Bishop of the Cleveland Catholic Diocese. And when we were meeting with him and telling him about basically the state of the world, the state of planetary overheating and all that, and what we can do about it, he said, he said, this is very hard to think about. Right. And at that moment, I was just inspired to share with him. I said, listen, for both me and Jamie, we've had the benefit and the advantage of having our worlds fall apart when we were very, very young. Right. And that's just what happened when he and I were both very, very young. Our worlds fell apart, our families fell apart, and it was just terrible. And but I said that's an advantage for us because we can imagine the world falling apart. We can see how bad it will get if we don't act.
Yeah,
we have the ability to visualize that. So in that moment, it just clicked for me. That's a huge advantage that I have. I certainly didn't think of it that way at the time. Let me see if I can turn the lights on here. I'll be right back. How you doing, love? Awesome. We're having a super cool meeting here. All right. Thanks for your patience, everybody. Hopefully, I'll be a little more visible. But speaking of visible, that makes the present crisis really visible for us. And that's what I told the Vicar General. And so every experience, no matter how hard, right? There have been other experiences that have just, all of which have come together to make me absolutely determined that we do this.
Oh, sorry,
Stephanie dropping the
I'm
laptop,
listening
right?
here. I interrupted Kevin. He was playing his game.
Oh.
But the operative word there, I would say, is the benefit of coming from those worlds. You use that word, the benefit, and that would be the operative word there. We were kind of discussing that with my dad as well during the break, just saying, like, you know, consider ourselves lucky for the hardships we went through, not a victim.
Totally. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, the bottom line is anything and everything that went into this soup that made me who I am today with the determination I have, God bless all of it. Everything that's happened, right? Yeah. Oh, well, good stuff. So we were exploring this kind of the broader network that we're a part of, right? And what comes, the way I'm thinking of it is, it's kind of, you know, here's how I'm thinking about it. When you first pour a can of beer into a big glass that can take it, right? One that's plenty big, that's not going to foam over. You pour the beer in, and at first it's just all bubbles, right? It's liquid with a million bubbles in it. And then you look and the bubbles are rising. And at first the bubbles don't even know about each other. Each one is just its own little bubble, right? Which is kind of a really good analogy because you know how we talk about, oh, he's just totally in a bubble. Oh, they're in their own little bubble, right? So you got all these little bubbles of beer, each one in its own little bubble, and they don't know about the others. But as they rise up, what happens? They bump into each other and bloop, they expand, right? Until ultimately there are these giant bubbles up on top. And the giant bubbles you could think of as basically the broad domains of interest of humanity, you know, sports, politics, right? The oceans, you know, whatever. And then in our case, what's our bubble? Our bubble is collective intelligence, collective superintelligence, and its application to solving our most daunting problems including corona, economic collapse, world hunger, exponential planetary overheating, melting of ice, poisoning of oceans, nuclear proliferation, you name it. We'll solve them all. We'll solve them all to the extent that they can be solved. And so, I guess if you had to make it turn it into a meme, I would say solving our problems with collective intelligence. That would be the simplest way to put it. That's who we are. We're all about solving our problems with collective intelligence. And if I were on stage and I wanted to dramatize it, let's say I was on stage holding one of Kevin's guitars, and I was going, all right, we're going to solve all the world's most daunting problems with collective superintelligence. That's if I wanted to dramatize it, right? We're going to solve all the world's most daunting problems with collective superintelligence. Voila, right? And now that we've said it so many times and talked about it so much and stayed up all night so many times talking about it, we're going to do it. There's just no way we're not going to do it. It's right in front of us. It's our destiny. We've got it marked, and we're not going to let up until we've got it. This is block party number 8. If we weren't serious, we would have petered out a while back. But we are dead serious, better yet, life serious. We are life serious. So I
need a song.
Go ahead.
We're gonna need a song. Maybe Kevin can compose a song there.
Yeah. All right. Somebody's trying to get in the room here. Michael J. Hello, Michael. Welcome. Are you here for the Collective Intelligence Block Party? Michael J, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, sir.
All right. Are you here for the Collective Intelligence Block Party?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that.
See, I'm getting faster. My goal is to have them eliminated even before they get to the uck part. But anyway. So I guess how would we define this broader bubble? Our big bubble of beer, right? Our big bubble of beer or beer gas is basically solving the world's problems and collective intelligence. So even people who are out there to solve the world's problems but don't even know about collective intelligence, they're part of our big beer bubble. You see what I'm saying? Of the integration, right? The joining, the mashing up of all the individual bubbles. Let's face it, we're in our bubble. Not a whole ton of people know about us. Maybe a few hundred or something. And of those few hundred, maybe 150 or so have hung here with us over the different block parties. I don't know. I'm just guessing 150, 180, some such number, right? So we're here in our bubble. The bubble's growing, but it's still relatively small in terms of its reach. Who knows? Maybe a few thousand people know about us by now. Whatever, right? So we're small, we're growing, but even if we grow to have thousands of members, right? Participating in the Block Party and its various offshoots, right? But all under the Block Party banner. We're still very tiny relative to humanity, right? If we had 7,000 members, that's 1/1,000,000th of humanity, literally, right? 1 in a million would be 7,000 of us. So I really think the big picture is the coming together of the different bubbles. And that's why we're defining what is the big bubble that we're all going to consolidate into. You see what I'm saying? Is that, you guys get what I'm saying? Okay. So now, imagine that prior to forming the big bubble, imagine that you could, all right, someone else is apparently trying to get in. No, that's obviously a hacker. I'm calling it hacker, but really it's, you know, a disturber. So imagine that prior to forming the big bubble, when all the little bubbles are way down in the glass, right near the bottom of the glass before they've risen up, imagine we were to draw a big lasso around all the little bubbles that are eventually going to form the big bubble, right? Okay. And probably the biggest of those bubbles would be something like, I don't know, rebel wisdom, something like that, right? And something like Extinction Rebellion is kind of overlapping, but really it kind of feels like they're more about anger management than solution management, right? And their solution is frankly simplistic and not sufficient. All right. There's someone named Emily trying to get in. Let's see. Hello, Emily. Welcome. Are you here for the Collective Intelligence Block Party?
Who the fuck are you, nigga?
All right, I'm down to about 1 second. But I guess they're also getting good at saying what they have to say in 1 second. Anyway, so, okay, but forget about Extinction Rebellion. Just think of all the bubbles that are eventually going to be part of this big bubble called Solving the World's Problems and Collective Intelligence, right? Imagine we draw a big lasso around them. That's our snapshot right now. And we are in a race against time to connect, and form one big bubble. That's how I see it. Because once we're connected, once we're integrated with including smart bubble software, right? Let's call it bubbleware. You know, once we're connected with the right bubbleware to connect us, that's when collective superintelligence is truly manifested in a very powerful and exponentially growing form. Because it really does feel like the final scene of a James Bond movie. Because just as everything's falling apart, you know, we get control of the proverbial helicopter and fly to safety, right? But it seems that it's happening right before we crash. Well, the fact that we're getting closer and closer to what I'll just call, you know, undeniable crash, as we get closer and closer to that, more and more people are going to be interested in, is there a solution to all this, right? And then they will hear not about some distant signal of some party that some hairy dude in, you know, out in the Americas, you know, talks for 24 hours straight and why doesn't he shut up? No. It's not some weak signal like that. I'm talking about the signal that gets to people's ears, mind you, not what's really going on here, but the signal that actually gets to people's ears. Not some weak signal like that. But imagine there's a strong, clear signal that says some of the brightest, most passionate, and certainly the most committed people in the world are coming together to figure out how to solve our problems using this thing called collective intelligence, right? And it's like everybody knows about it. Not everybody's on it yet, but everybody's heard about it, right? And that strong signal will be bringing in tens of thousands of people per day. People like us. Now, we happen to get there first. So what? I mean, it's very significant. I'm sure glad it's us. And I'm sure glad we're here. Don't get me wrong. But there are other people like us who, for whatever reason, didn't click on the right links and didn't stay up the extra 3 hours to keep digging and digging to find what we've found, right? But that doesn't make them any less, valuable than us to the overall collective superintelligence, right? So that's good news. Good news is there's millions of people like us, right? Obviously, no two people are alike, but you get my point. People who are that combination of intelligent, creative, passionate, committed, right? Each of us with our own secret sauce. Each of us with our own, personal stories, our own journey, our own networks, our own families, right? Our own friends who we grew up with, who are a part of us. There are millions of us out there. That's the good news, right? Like I was talking about before, there's 3 parts to an exponential: flat line, knee, and vertical. When we're in the vertical phase, it's really fun. We're just, like in 1 week, our intelligence just soars by leaps and bounds. It's like, what? Right? But for years, we were in this flat portion. I'm talking specifically about the collective superintelligence that we and the other bubbles in the beer glass have been working on collectively without even knowing of each other's existence, right? We've all been working on different slices at it. I thought it was interesting today when Denise said, oh yeah, there's this other group and it's all about making our dreams come true. And I'm like, well, shoot, that's what we're doing here. It's, we don't use those words. We use the words collective superintelligence, right? But in the end, it sounds like we're rowing in the same direction, right?
I saw something the other day talking about bubbles. I saw a guy walking in a bubble. He had his mask on, Obviously, it was directed at coronavirus. But, there he was, walking inside of his bubble. Is he going to convince me to walk around in the bubble? I don't know. I don't think so. But, innovative. He's doing what he figured it all out. It was a big bubble,
I'm still here. I'm just going to turn my camera off just for a few minutes because it's 4:20, so I'll just take a break.
Sure. Oh. So anyway, as things just decline in terms of our precarious state here on the planet and the precarious state of the planet, People are going to get more and more amped up, and there's just going to be more and more talk about what we can do to solve this. I think the majority of humanity doesn't really have a clue about exponential planetary overheating. Everybody knows about the coronavirus. Nobody knows about planetary overheating. And it's all certainly been eclipsed by the coronavirus in a very big way. I mean, to the point that some people are thinking, well, shoot, if we've stopped polluting, then isn't everything fine now? Right. And I think we talked about that on Tuesday. Actually, yeah, we recorded a segment on it. So it's like both of these trends are just converging, bam, just right in sync. The falling apart of the planet and the rise of collective intelligence, soon to become collective superintelligence.
I just saw the other day that people are cluing in now to you know, the fact that the skies are so blue. You know, the skies are so clear. So the question arises, you know, who's doing the measurements, you know, for the decrease in the masking effect, you know?
Yeah, I haven't looked at Guy McPherson's latest posts, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if he talks about that. But that'd be a good thing to search and find out. But presumably, I mean, if humanity has the instrumentation, the measuring systems to detect, you know, the global dimming in the first place, they should be able to detect variations in it, especially such substantial variations as what we're seeing now. So, you know, oh yeah, but getting back to my original question is, what is our place within the constellation of bubbles? What is our place here? Right? Within this.
Well, in my own way, I'll try and give an answer to that in the sense that I think our place in this is, or this platform place in all of that is exactly that. It's the right platform. As you said there, like as the world starts to fall apart around us, and a lot of people are starting to become aware of that, and we're not the only group out there. Whatever they might be saying it in different words or under different names, and they might be coming from different angles. Whether it's that the guy there, Rico, is it, or Reese? I can't remember his name now tonight, but he
Zari?
performed.
No.
No, the guy we met tonight, Rico, is it, or
Oh yeah, I think it's Rigo. I think it's Rigo.
Rigo, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, his group there now, like they're just coming from the meditative side of things, like, but they're getting together, and you know, and there's lots of other groups out there, and so yeah, what I believe that this is the platform for. Obviously, it's the only platform that because you're the only one thinking of it in this sense anyway. Like, it's the platform to get all those platforms together, collectively, as you said, like, so. That's why I stick with this, because I can see that this is the solution to at least making an attempt to have solutions. This is the only way to go, but we need all those other platforms, all those other groups once they come on board on this platform, in their own different rooms, organize their own rooms, they'll get more people from this platform of like-minded people in their groups and their meetings, and likewise, you know, but basically what it's doing then, this platform is doing, is it's an open platform. Everybody knows that it's being recorded as live streaming, and it's been, you know what I mean, it's finding answers to the problems that we have. So yeah, collectively we need to get together collectively, and that's the key to it. Like, that's what this platform is the collective. That's what I see anyway. It's the collective, and it's the way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, we're kind of a combined think tank, software startup, meetup group, you know, with a big block party community, right? So we're I guess I would call us kind of an exotic player within the overall universe of bubbles, right? Definitely a very bright spot in the galaxy. You know, looking up at James's beautiful artwork there. Who knows? Maybe even the center of the spiral, or one of those bright spots right in the middle, right? But it feels to me like we're playing an important special role, and that there needs to be something like us, something like the block party, right? And to the extent that if there were two of us, well, shoot, let's merge together, right? I mean, that's our spirit. And if they're really one of us, that would be their spirit too. If they weren't into merging, then they're definitely not one of us, right? Because we're all about bringing all of humanity together, right? So I think if there were another one of us, we would have heard about them by now, right?
Yeah, exactly. There is, that's what I'm saying. There is no other platform like this. But there are other platforms out there that can be a vital part of this. So yeah, like the galaxy, as you said, this is like a central gravitational force. That's what I find. That's what I see it as. Like, it's the central gravitational force pulling all those platforms in together now, so that we can combine as a collective, and then that's how it works.
That's right. And as the others merge, as we all merge together, we create much more gravitational force. And then platforms that aren't even feeling a pull from us right now will be like whoosh, right? See, that's the exponential. That's the exponential right there.
You just have to excuse me for 2 minutes now, Jamin, because I'm going to have to use the bathroom, boy.
Take your time. Take your time, brother. No hurry.
So the other day I was working on some bubbles on the new map there, Brett's.
Yeah.
I was creating all sorts of bubbles there for a while, and it's a nice platform. It's a nice concept. I like it. We could all be in bubbles but nylons. What do you call it? Nylons?
Olans.
Olons, yeah. So it's nice. It was a bit fiddly, you know. I mean, you have to manipulate the bubbles, make some smaller, make some larger, and then, you know, it's a little calls for a little bit of good dexterity. You know, you have to go and you know, into different parts of the platform to enter information and put your links and whatnot. But all in all, it's nice. I liked it.
Yeah. I mean, take Brett's platform, take Cesari's, right? And take our platform, this one, the Block Party. Take our sister platform, Solution Club. All of these are unique, very unique platforms. Let's face it, they're all very unique. And what we're doing is creating this super unique combination of all these different platforms. I'm trying to think of like a music group analog, and what comes to mind is, you know, the Village People from way back in the 70s, right? I mean, each one's like totally different. One of them's, I don't know, whatever, a fireman, another one's a construction worker, another, you know. And so you just have this rainbow spectrum, right? And that is a pretty good analogy, because, you know, they were a bunch of characters. We're a bunch of characters. We're a bunch of misfits, right? And even our platforms are misfit platforms, right? You know, they're kind of rough around the edges, early stage, software's not complete yet, and which is one of the reasons I really like Brett's use of the word thoughtware instead of software. Oh, Nancy's here. She's no hacker. Welcome, Nancy. Nancy! Hey, how you doing? You're on mute, Nancy. Here, I'm gonna unmute you.
I just figured out I had to tap. How you doing, J-Man?
Hey, doing great, Nancy, and you?
I forgot about the Black Party. I've been pretty busy, actually, attending all these other webinars and conferences, and it's kind of great, you know, at least nice human contact. I have my 4 kitties to keep me company, but they sleep all the time now. So anyway, so I've been holding out pretty good. I actually went shopping today.
Mm-hmm.
And I wore a glove. They had gloves and some, you know, cleaning towels in the entrance to the store, and I had a face mask. And most of the people didn't have a mask. Most of the people I saw didn't seem concerned about worrying about keeping their distance. But I felt like I was safe enough. I felt like I was as safe as I could have been. And they had taped lines on the floor on your way to the to get in line to cash out for the cashier and keeping people 6 feet away. So that was good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good, good, good.
Is anybody else on the call?
Yeah, we got a number of folks. Let me just check in with the person who just joined. Is that McCarvin? McCarvin Henry?
Oh, there's a bunch of us here.
Suck my dick. Suck it.
All right, so we've had a few of those people today, unfortunately. Sorry you had to hear that, Nancy.
Oh.
Yeah, the thing is,
I
well,
saw your note.
pardon me?
I saw your note and had people come in and like trolling the group.
Yeah, here's the thing. Because there's such an explosion of Zoom video conferences all over the place now, and because you get all these kids at home who are just going stir crazy and their testosterone's going crazy, and, and they're banished to their room. They're just terrorizing. Well, they're trying their best to terrorize these different Zoom video conferences.
Oh, okay. I didn't really hear what they said. It didn't sound like it made any sense to me.
Well, I'm really glad you didn't. But yeah, it was just, anyway.
Okay, you can put me back on mute.
Oh, I'll put you on mute, no problem. And then just wave if you want me to unmute you. Alrighty. So anyway, we were talking about James, you were making a point about well, we're talking about, so Nancy, just like I was sharing about how there's all these different Zoom groups popping up all over the place. Among those are, a small but significant number of other Zoom groups, Zoom meetups or whatever, that are essentially in our general neighborhood. Okay, what is our general neighborhood? Does our neighborhood have a name? Well, if it did have a name, it would be called Solving the World's Most Daunting Problems, ... with collective intelligence. So it's really kind of two topics that have merged together into one. The two topics being the world's most daunting problems and collective intelligence. So here we are, this little known bright spot in the universe, right? Called Solving the World's Most Daunting Problems with Collective Intelligence. And now, since the coronavirus, a whole bunch of other meetings are popping up that are not too far from us ontologically or topically, right? Or they're very, very close to us, or they're identical to us even. We don't know, because we don't know who these other meetings are. We've heard of a few of them. We've, bumped into a few. In fact, we've even inspired some to start, I think. Well, hello, kitty poo. Meow, 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 meow. I'm so used to looking at James. Now I'm just seeing this Siberian winter. But anyway. So there is this huge opportunity now for these different Zoom meetings, especially the ones that are, once a week or so, or whatever frequency, for all of us to get connected and to essentially become polyamorous, right? Meaning that we, jump from meeting to meeting, right? That kind of polyamorous. and that we begin to form a true network where, you know, the SRM folks, they all know each other and they're always talking to each other. And the collective intelligence geeks know each other and are always talking to each other, right? And frickin' making it happen, right? Visualizing, talking about, and speccing out the platform we want. Not the platform we have, but the platform we want. And then putting that thing together in a weekend hackathon or something like that, right? Once we get enough coders.
Yeah, I agree exactly with everything there, Jim. And as I said, that's why I'm hanging in here, because it can all be done. Like, it's so easy. And as you said, and I'm not the best tech wise, I'm always saying that, but I can understand I can understand it easily because you explain it so easily, and because you say it so easily, because it is so easy. That's the beauty of it. And even I can see that. That's why, as you said, the more people that start to, well, as you said, because of the situations we're in now, the more people realize when things start happening around them and they start to take notice and they want to, then they're going to start asking, how can we do something about it? So this is the place. This is already up and going for quite a while now. Like, so you've put enough of work into it. So I definitely know you know where you're coming from, because I can see where you're going. That's the thing. I know where you're coming from. I've seen that you put all the effort into it. Anyone that wants to look you up can see that as well. So, but I know where you're going, and that's the beauty of it. Like, that's why I'm hanging in there myself. And I'm sure, like, you know, anyone that puts a small bit of time into these conversations will see that it's going to take them somewhere as well, for all sorts of reasons. You know what I mean? But this is definitely the platform for everyone to get together. You know what I mean? Especially because we all have the common goals. Like, that's the thing. Like, it just makes sense. So it's only a matter of time. Once the numbers come, it's only a matter of time. Persistence is the key.
Be like
But
a matryoshka doll, you know, like a doll within a doll within a doll. So the platform being another platform, it'll be inside the other platform, you know, multi level platform, doll within a doll, a bubble within a bubble, like Brett's thing, you know. The unfortunate thing about his concept though is that visually it's hard to see what's inside the bubble, you know, inside the hole on. So that's the hard part of that concept. But because I kind of like to see things more exposed right away, high impact.
Sure. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. These various different platforms are each, you know, in different forms of early stage, and therefore, you know, either they've got bugs or they're not completely built out yet or whatever. Welcome. Is it Sarepta? How do you say your name there?
I killed that.
I see. I got that one real quick.
quick draw McGraw.
Quick draw McGraw. Fastest gun in the West. Anyway, so but all these different platforms are, you know, that we're bringing together. We're bringing together different kind of misfit groups and way out there ideas, and so many different, I mean, this is no offense. I mean, I'm proud to be a misfit, really, really proud to be a misfit. You know, who the hell wants to fit into an omnicidal world, a world that's all about death, right? So, yes, I'm very happy to be a misfit. So we're a bunch of misfit Zoom groups, right? And misfit platforms and misfit et ceteras, all coming together into the International Society of Misfits, committed to saving life on Earth.
Yeah, exactly. I would agree, and I would have no hesitation in considering myself a misfit as well. But we're misfits who think outside the box. That's the beauty of it, and that's the most important thing of it. Like, you know what I mean? We're thinking outside the box. You know, misfit or whatever. It doesn't matter what a person views of you. And as Emery said, what was lacking, and you don't get a certain thing from, he doesn't get a certain thing from Brett's platform. That's instantaneous in this platform with a face-to-face conversation with like-minded people. If you're sitting down with like-minded people face-to-face on the platform having a conversation, you're instantly going to get gratification from that anyway. Like, and if you could do that together, then with the sole purpose of trying to solve problems for the rest of humanity, how bad? Like, and even if you fail trying to do that, at least you tried doing that. That's the beauty. You know what I mean? That's it. I mean, I wouldn't care why, if anybody tried to say what we were doing was futile, then I would say, like, go back and bury your head in the sand then. You know what I mean? That's fair enough. I don't
Totally,
choose to bury my head in the sand. You know what I mean?
totally, totally.
I'd rather lift it above and see what's coming and see if I can do something about it, or try and avert it, or just try to do something anyway rather than put my head in the sand and kiss my arse goodbye. Like.
The meetings, the Zoom meetings, in it just itself is a hold on. It's like a hold on, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it is. We're the bubble here, and we could, everyone that comes in is another hold on.
Mhm.
It's so simple.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
right in front of our face.
Like Russian dolls, like what you were saying. Hey, let me welcome Uncle Frank. Welcome back, Uncle Frank. Can you hear me? All right, good, good, good. Hey, Uncle Frank. And welcome Oswald. Is that my buddy? That's Oswald, all right. And what's the link, Oswald? I guess I'll click on it and find out, huh? All right. All right. Zoom webinar chat. Imgur. Anyway, let's see what Oswald has to say about that. Oh, COVID-19 Last Supper. All right. Anyway, we're having a pretty inspired conversation about our community, our evolving platform, and kind of where we're situated in the broader universe. Hey, Oswald, totally hear you. Can't stay long tonight. No problemo. I'm just happy to see you. I'm just glad you stopped by. So thank you for stopping by. I always love hearing what you have to say. This is your home, Oswald. Come and go as you please. And welcome home, brother. All right, the ferry's coming in. let me see if you can see it on the screen.
You know what I could picture? I can picture Brett's platform.
That's the ferry in the middle of the screen, right there. That bright light coming towards you. Go ahead, Emery.
Yeah, I can picture Brett's platform like this. Okay. Each holon could be a Zoom meeting. Okay. And the holon itself, okay, once you go to that particular one, which it'll be easy to do on the platform, you're going to have the controls to get to wherever you want to go, right? But once you're in that holon, you can have other meetings within that holon, right? Just like he's got it set up right now. And it would all be active in real time. So in real time, you're there at one meeting, and you can very easily jump into another holon within that bigger one. So that could be quite interesting, actually. I'm sure it would be. You could figure out how to do that. You know? Of course.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought. All right, Emery. I'll give it that. I was the understanding that the holon would be in Brett's platform, that the holon is each holon is an individual person rather than
I'm just expanding the thought. I'm just expanding
right.
the concept to
I get you.
incorporate the Zoom meeting, the functionality of the meetings itself, because the meetings are so powerful, right? And it's so immediate. We're in immediate contact with each other, with being able to communicate and share, you know. So it's
Yeah,
from
but that is the power of this platform. Like, that is its power, being able to meet face to face and talk and resolve. So that is its power in essence. Like, and it's just a matter of patience for more time, more people to join. Really, like it will grow exponentially, as Jamin says, and it's just a matter of time.
I'm just wondering whether it would be like making things easier, or is just making it too complicated. I don't know. It seems like it may facilitate more possibilities, though, which down the line, I don't know how much time there is really to create something as complex as that, though. It's not my field, but just with the experience that I had the other day, I see it's got that possibility.
Yeah, but I think, yeah, I see where you're coming from, but I think what you're saying is like it's already existing in that sense, really, anyway, by just breaking off in these Zoom, like having these Zoom conversations, and then once there's more of them going on, and we are breaking off into separate Zoom conversations, but they're all connected, and they're all, it's all been recorded, and so it's I don't know. I can't. I'm probably getting a bit confused. Explaining myself wrong now, but you're basically saying looking at it from a different view from Brett's forum or platform. But
Yeah, well,
I get what you're saying. It's the same thing, looking at it from a different view. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But we're already doing that on this platform already. Anyway, it's just a matter for it to grow. That's all.
I'm just saying, James, you'd have to try it first to actually be in my shoes to see to understand what I experienced in the moment that I'm there doing what I was doing. I could see myself jumping from meeting to meeting through these hold-ons, you know. They're easy enough to create, and if you have the tools there to set up the meeting in each hold-on, and they would incorporate other ones within that structure right there. And that's just one structure in a universe, you know, which it could be on that platform. You know.
Mm.
You know, as I listen to you guys, Emery and James, one thing is very clear. You guys both can see the future of what we're building into and evolving into. You can see it, right? We all struggle with how to articulate it, right? Not because we're not good at putting together words, quite to the contrary, but because what we're visualizing has never existed. And so we're trying to find ways to describe something that we can see, but that's never existed. So that, but, and you know, James, right when you said a couple of minutes ago, hey, you know, I feel like I'm not quite explaining it well. I just wanted to stand up and cheer, because as you're groping with it, with how to describe it, that's creation right there. We're co-creating how to talk about it. And it's so refreshing to hear one of my other brothers groping to express that vision, because that's what I grope with. Right? How do you tell people about something that you see? Well, that's largely the realm of art, right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's hard enough to get people to understand what you see, but or to get people to see what you see, but to get them to understand it is another thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I just think it's only a matter of time anyway.
Here, let me say hello to Michael. Hello there, Michael. Are you intending to be here in the Collective Intelligence Block Party? Michael Jones. All right. May have come into the wrong meeting there. Okay. And somebody by the name of Manager Scott, technical something. All right, let's just get this sorted out here. Hello there. Manager Scott.
Need some tea?
Maybe not quite yet, but maybe a bit later I'll make some. Is that Manager Scott there? Are you intending to be here in the Collective Intelligence Block Party? If so, welcome. And but we've had a few people pop in who meant to go to other meetings. All right.
I wonder if we're going to break the internet with all these meetings. It's been pretty crazy. I've been busy. I've really been even busier. With all
Well,
these meetings.
all right. Well, now you got me curious. Tell us about, just give us kind of an idea of a couple of the different meetings that you've been to that are kind of that are as close to our realm as possible, shall we say?
I guess the closest thing would be the climate healers meetings.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And you know, he's having that one like every day at well, depending on your time zone, I'm on the East Coast, so it's 4.
Yeah.
And those are fascinating. They're really, he's got like all different kinds of people speaking about different issues. And it really, you know, fundamentally, the climate healers is, as you know, coming together and pooling our resources for the common good and creating a new world, you know. And it's really fascinating. So those would be the ones that would be the closest to this, you know. Other people have had like smaller groups and things like that, but I'm making some tea, sorry.
Sure, no problem. No problem. Mhm.
So that's mine.
Yeah. Wow.
You look like you're in a dark bar all by yourself.
I'm out on the back deck
Oh, how nice.
smoking a cigar.
Wow, how nice. It must be warm. Is it warm enough there? Where are you? Are you in California, right?
No. The state of Washington.
You're in Washington. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're pretty far north. What's the temperature like there?
It's pretty cool here right now. Probably just
Yeah.
probably maybe high 30s or something like that.
Oh, that's cold. Do you have a coat on? Oh, you do. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe it's not that cold. Maybe it's in the 40s somewhere. I don't know.
Okay. I'm making some tea here.
All right. But anyway, we were talking about, you know, how to characterize this, how to talk about it, right? How do you, I mean, like, a network of conversations. Who's ever thought of such a thing, right? And hey, Nancy, do you mind muting your microphone?
Oh, sorry. Sure.
That's okay. It's like we're, you know, a network of conversations. How do you talk about a network of conversations, right? But once you visualize it, and then you visualize this steady stream of transcribed text coming out of each one, and you realize that all that data is gold, right? That is just golden data. And so just like the fairy tale of the machine that would spin straw into gold, we're spinning that text. We're creating the machine to spin that text into gold.
Yeah, a good analogy there, all right, Jamin. Excuse me, now I'm going to go make a cup of tea myself, but I can still hear you when I plug out my earphones, so carry on.
Okay, great. Thanks,
You
Jim.
know, the key word that you just brought up, Jamin,
Yeah.
was network. And that's a new word that you've allocated to meetings. It hasn't been there before. There isn't such a thing right now. And I think that's a cutting edge idea.
Yeah, network of meetings. I mean, and hence the name. Let's see, I'm getting some echo somehow. Oh, it's from James. Here, I'll mute you, James. I got you, James. Don't worry about it. So that's what inspired us. This network of conversations and playing with the name. I think it was literally way back in August, late August, I think, this last year. But we came up with the name, the Social Network of Actual Conversations. However, and I think that's a really cool name. SNAC is the acronym, SNAC. So Snack Bar would be the name of that social network. But I want everyone to bear with me for about a minute or two as I distinguish two different things. There's a social network based on actual conversations, and then there's a network of conversations. And those are two different things. Does everyone see that? Let me name the two things again. There's a social network. Look, you can have a social network based on homosexuality, based on fishing, based on the love of chocolate, based on a love of baseball. You can have a social network based on anything, right? So why not have a social network based on actual conversations, right? No big deal, right? Okay. So that's the least radical of the two concepts. The other concept, not the social network of actual conversations, but the other concept is a network of conversations. See, a social network is a network of people that forms a network based on some common interest, right? With a network of conversations, it's not a network of people. It's not a network of elephants. And it's not a network of alien spacecraft. It's a network of this thing called conversations. This class of things called conversations, right?
You nailed it.
Huh?
You nailed it.
So, thank you. Well, we nailed it. You see, what we're doing is we're applying our collective intelligence to pick apart what the heck it is that we are. Right? And we just determined that we're two things in one. Myra's back. Welcome back, Myra. Myra.
Hey there, how are you guys?
Great, great, great. Well, Myra's back and we're gonna have a party. Hela, hela, Myra's back and she's eating her dinner. Hela, hela, Myra's back. Oh, da 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 da. Myra's back. So anyway, we just distinguished something really cool, Myra. That, so you know how like we're basically been talking about building this sort of social network
Yes.
around these conversations that we're having, and you know, as the beginning of collective superintelligence. Well, we just distinguished that there's really two kinds of networks in one. Okay. Let's see. So the one is a network of people, right? What is a social network? It's a network of people, right? And you can have a social network around any topic that you want. Baseball, bubble gum, whatever. Veganism, right? Vegan World 2026 is largely a social network of vegans. Not just any vegans, vegans who are committed to a vegan world. Okay. So anyway, so you got social networks about anything you want. A social network of actual conversations is a social network of people who like to have actual conversations. Great. But there's this other kind of network that we're also creating, which is a network not of people, but a network of conversations, right? Not a network of countries, that's the United Nations, not a network of planets with its central star, that's the solar system, not a network of ants, that's an ant colony, a network of conversations. Well, what the heck is a conversation? right? So anyway, and that's what, well, a conversation is what we're doing right here, right? And there's also a series of conversations because we do this every week. So we have two kinds of networks in a way that really merge into one. You have a network of people and a network of conversations, but it's really one big network of people having conversations. Anyway.
I was just at a meeting right now. It was another Zoom meeting, and there was about 17 people. I invited them to come over here. Hopefully, a few of them may do. I don't know. And I was actually thinking about that also. I was like, hold a minute. There's 17 people here, and everybody's talking, and they're having collective meditations, and they were sharing arts and so many stuff. And I was thinking, Jamin, that it could be a good idea for us within collective intelligence to maybe change a few times, like invite people. Let's say, for instance, we can invite someone to do like a 15-minute meditation. For example, there's Dementia. I know he does. I've never been there, but I know he does. I heard that he does amazing meditations. And this is something, in a way, we can, I guess, promote this and have people interested in, because right now, as things are, people, they want to learn how to control their emotions. They want to learn how to get out of that fear and that low vibration. For a lot of people, maybe they don't want to be like such, but this is how vibration is in the whole world right now, that it just drags you in there. For me, there's instances when I'm feeling very sad, or sometimes when I feel fear, because I have a son that has asthma, and I get so concerned when every time my mom comes back from work, because she's still working in large groups of people. So a lot of people, they're in that same scenario, but they don't know how to control. So maybe if we attract people by putting subjects into the whole collective intelligence, maybe collective intelligence and art gallery, collective intelligence and meditation, and just do little tiny segments, and then when those segments are done, we can let them know, you know what, we are in a big crisis. Yes, the corona, but then we do have another bigger problem, which is to cool down the oceans. And then we can talk about what Sailesh was saying, like within the whole vegan meals, free meals for people. That will get me motivated also to join a meeting, because I am the type of person that I like to always be busy, but always be giving love and kindness and just serving people in many ways. So, I mean, it's just an idea to drop that. I know there is a lot of people having reunions, and maybe we need to step out of that comfort zone. And I don't know what you think about it.
No, I'm all for it. In terms of basically what I'm getting is we could invite different groups to come here and spend, you know, a period of time, a segment of time with them, focused on kind of that topic space, whether it's art, whether it's meditation, whatever the topic space. And then maybe at the end of that, we let them know what basically what we're all about, right? And you know,
How does the people that have been hacking, how do they find you?
yeah. So I think they they probably just do Google searches or whatever, and or also on my Facebook page. I posted on my Facebook page. I think that's probably the biggest. That may be the biggest way, and maybe I just need to stop doing that. And maybe just direct people to radish.org. Hey, if you want to join us, you know, go to radish.org. All the information is there, something like that. So it's not just, oh, a Zoom link. Here, let me click on that. And
No, and you know what? It's completely fine that they're finding you one way or another. The reason that I'm asking you is because if there's a way that I can find other Zoom streaming videos, I can probably just log in there and see what it's all about and then invite people to come over here. I'll be like the, how would you call it? La colada. In Mexico they call it like that, la colada que llega y invita a todos.
me gusta, Mayra. Pues quién mejor que tú? Who better than you?
Oh my God, and I would love to do that, believe me.
Wow. Oh my, no, Mayra. Oh my goodness. You could make such a difference.
See, the only thing is, like, how do I find those Zoom live streaming videos? And just log in, like if I'm hacking in a way,
Well,
but
yeah.
I'm not hacking in a bad way. I'm hacking in a good way.
Exactly. That's a good question. And that's, well, okay. So, you know, the Facebook page that Cesare put together this last Tuesday called Zoom Collective Intelligence Public Forum. Do you know that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the idea is that we post on that Facebook page all the different meetings that are happening that are, you know, more or less associated with what we're doing here. What are we doing here? We're developing collective intelligence and applying collective intelligence to solving the world's problems. So basically, world's problems and collective intelligence. That's our general neighborhood, right? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you definitely. As I'm listening to you, I'm over here Googling.
Yeah.
And I guess the best way is to find those live videos on Zoom and maybe comment under them. I don't know when you guys are live streaming on YouTube. I don't know if you guys are able to see who comments there at the moment when they post something.
Normally Nolan keeps tabs of that, but let me go peek over there and see what I see. Let's see here. Huh, I don't see any comments recently. Let me just type in. Maybe I'll hear back. I just said hello, everyone. And But anyway, I like the idea of you being La Colada. Mayra La Colada.
That doesn't sound too good in Spanish.
Whoops,
La colada.
whoops. Sorry. Okay.
No, that's fine. I mean, actually, that's the right way to say it. La que se coló ahí en el baile or whatever. I just haven't heard that word in a long time.
Okay, gotcha. La que se coló. Oye,
Yes, I mute myself, but I'm laughing myself over here.
Oye, ¿qué se hizo Mayra? Ah, se puso bien colada. No,
Anda de colada.
no me digas.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so like for instance, I am right now at a YouTube. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I logged in right now at a YouTube live streaming that it says live chat in New York City. And it says 617 people are currently there. And then you can see all the people just posting and typing a bunch of stuff. Here, I'll send you the link. Now, how do I send this? Live chat. Oh my gosh. Quality. How come it doesn't let me share it? Okay, here. Let me copy the link. And then I'll paste it right here on the chat.
Okay, that's a live stream, huh?
Yes. So this is what I'm talking about, finding those live streams.
Okay. Okay, let's take a look at that.
There's this idea that in portraiture, it's the photographer's job to set the subject at ease. I don't.
Oh, it's an Earth cam. So it's, I see, it's Times Square. So all these people are watching. And lots of people are chatting. There's like a new chat every like second.
Yeah. What I could do, I could just copy paste this our Zoom meeting here and then put like a little message, how to save humanity on planet Earth, how to provide free vegan meals for people. And just little questions like that, so I can probably get people's attention and bring them over here.
Wow. Wow. Well, let's think about for a minute, what would be a good message to say to people? Like, for example, to stop the coronavirus, we need to apply our collective intelligence. I'm in a meeting over here, right? And then paste the link. Join us, something like that, right?
Okay.
To stop the coronavirus, we need to apply our collective intelligence. I'm in a meeting over here where we are developing the collective intelligence we need. It's called the Collective Intelligence Block Party, and then the party will get their attention. The block party will get their attention, right?
Yes. I'm afraid though that you might get hackers. more
Well,
hackers.
I mean, here's the thing: we've been dealing with hackers anyway. So if we get a hacker, we get a hacker. I kick them out so fast. The last one I kicked out faster than they could say, boom, they were just gone. I've gotten really good at getting rid of them quickly. So I say it's worth a try, and you know, why not?
Okay.
I don't know if people. I mean, why not? Right?
That's what I say. Give it a try.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to put the first message there.
Okay.
It's funny though, because it doesn't let me copy and paste. I can just write. And I can see why.
Yeah. Okay.
You could also try a simple message like, if you are feeling helpless in the situations we're facing today and you want to try and contribute to helping, join the collective intelligence block party. You know what I mean? Something like that. Like, because a lot of people are feeling helpless in the situation that we're in today, like, and they're looking for, can we help? What, or is there anything I can do? A lot of people are asking those questions. So those are the questions you need to ponder out there for them, as you were saying, Jamin, about memes, catching them with the quick sentences, like, so, if there's anyone out there who feels that, that they're in a helpless situation but want to talk about it or try to solve it, join the collective intelligence.
Yeah. Okay, I did the first.
Yeah, I saw your comment there, Maida.
And you know what? We can all do it. Like, let me go back here to Zoom. Like James, he can log in there and also put the ID number.
Yeah, I'm just getting the link there now from you.
I need to change that. Mayra, me amo, te amo. Let me go to my, yeah. Let me go to my settings.
So what's going on? I just stepped out for a few there.
Well, Maida had a really good idea, which is to paste announcements of our meeting of the block party in different live streams. So, for example, she found this one live stream that she posted into the chat of a live webcam of Times Square in New York. And there's like 677 people watching the video, right? The live stream. And they're chatting to each other. They're typing this and that. So Myra posted, hey, let's stop the coronavirus with collective intelligence, and posted our meeting ID.
You could post links in the chat like that.
I don't know about the link. I think might have tried to post a link, but they wouldn't let her do that. So she just typed in the meeting ID. Let me get a little food. I'll be right back. Actually, I got to hit the bathroom as well, so I might be back in 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, I just did that there. Now I put up a comment
Okay.
eventually.
You know what? And it's actually allowing me to do copy and paste, which is good because that way I put the whole Zoom ID number.
Yeah, I just basically said that you know, if they want to join in, they can go to the link will be on the radish.org. I just left that option open to them really. Like I was going to go to Facebook one as well, but I ran out of space. You can only type in so much, so I had to shorten it. So I just kept the suite at the radish.org because I still wasn't 100% sure if the link up on Facebook is the right one for this this block party tonight. I assume it is.
Mm.
Oh yeah, actually it is. I'm getting tired now, so I'm forgetting. Yeah, Jackie fixed that earlier on this evening. Yeah,
What happened?
because of the hackers coming in and everything earlier on today when we changed Zoom meetings and we had to, you know, get different links with the different Zoom meetings. So we put up the different links we changed the links on the Facebook and. But then when we went back to the original link, we had to go back and change that again. So I just remember Jackie did do that today. She put back up the link.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
That's pretty incredible, Times Square on a Friday night.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible. I went to New York a couple of times. The first time I went there was on my way back from Atlantic City, and I was with a couple of friends of mine, and first time going through to New York, and we entered from Atlantic City. We entered into the Holland Tunnel, and the Holland Tunnel back then, I guess, I don't know if it's like that now, but it had spikes in the road. And we got there pretty late at night, you know. There were spikes in the road, so you couldn't really cross over from lane to lane, and it's like going down into the tunnel, and there was steam coming out from vents and all this business, and it was like descending into the pit of hell or something. Because as we came out, We heard fire engines, police cars zooming by. What an experience for the first time in New York.
Well, yeah, New York is definitely not on my list to get to visit. That would give me just a lot of anxiety to be around a lot of traffic and a lot of people. That's not my type of place that I would go and visit. I like more peaceful places.
Me too. Me too. This was many years ago.
It is really sad what's happening over there. I called a few hospitals today to see if they needed some volunteers with interpreting Spanish, but they will call me until Monday and see if they need a few.
Where was that?
I have a friend that his son lives in New York, and he reached out to me telling me that one of the hospitals in New York needed interpreters that speak Spanish and English fluently. So I told myself, why not? I always done volunteering work. So I called the hospital that I called is in Manhattan, but Human Resources was already gone for the day. Maybe I just called too late. They're gonna return the call on Monday.
Yeah, it's really tragic what's happened in New York. It just, I'd be terrified if I lived in New York right now. I just saw
Definitely. New York, Italy, and Spain, they're getting hit really hard with this virus. It's devastating.
I just saw an article from the CDC that I passed along. They're saying now that we should cover our faces and nose, that we can go ahead and make like homemade masks. But shouldn't they be giving us instructions on how to do that? Or, I've seen people wear bandanas and stuff. It seems like by now I've seen some instructions, and I have some masks that I bought from a previous time when I was sick and I had to travel. So I'm not making anything homemade, but it would make sense, that they would give us some suggestions about how to make a mask if you have to go out. And now they're saying like all the time, like even if you just go out for a walk or.
Yeah, I ordered some. I have another friend that she studied clothing designing, and she knows how to do, masks to be able to, for her to do masks is pretty simple. So I just ordered her a few masks for my kids and for myself. And I read an article about 2 weeks ago where a few Chinese scientists and doctors, they did an experiment with people with the coronavirus when they sneezed, when they coughed, or even when they speak loud. Because the coronavirus is in such tiny particle that it stays floating for about 3 hours in an indoor place that is not ventilating, that you don't have two windows open. So we already knew that the virus would stay floating in the air for, I think it's more than 3 hours. And again, it's only in closed places, like let's say grocery stores. You go inside of there and it only has one sliding door to go out. It doesn't have no windows. So most likely people go in there, they sneeze, they cough. A lot of people, they're picking their fruits, their vegetables, and can you just imagine, what a horrible situation they put us in, because if they knew that the virus stays alive for 3 hours, I think one of the worst places where we already got contaminated or contagious, we were doing grocery shopping. We were trying to buy our quarantine meals, our quarantine food products 2 weeks ago. So I cannot imagine how many people got contagious just by going inside of a grocery store trying to get ready for the situation.
Well, I was in one today where they had, there were not very many people in there, fortunately, and they had some wipes, some sanitizing wipes, and they had gloves to put on, plastic gloves. So I took a pair, and I actually have a bunch here because of the work they do. I serve food sometimes, and I had my face mask on, and I saw only a couple of other people in the store with face masks, and not everybody had the gloves on, and I was really shocked. And people were kind of trying to keep a distance, but it's really hard to do that in a store all the time. But I felt safe enough. I really did with my stuff. And then they, on the way to check out, the line, I think I mentioned it maybe before you came on, they had lines leading up to the checkout that were 6 feet apart. But it is a little scary to go shopping. It's very weird to be scared to go shopping in a grocery store. But I've got everything I need. I should be fine for a couple of weeks. And I've done a lot of online shopping anyway, and that's the rest I'm going to do. And I actually just bought this plant tower, and it's wonderful. I set the shell up, but it's from lettucegrow.com. Lettuce, like a lettuce, like a head of lettuce,
Yeah.
grow.com. And they have their modular units, and you can start with like a 12 plant unit and then build up to 36. And it's hydroponic, and the price I thought was really good for what you get and for the quality, and definitely it'll pay for itself. And I've been wanting to be able to grow my food. This is for indoors. I could use it outside if I want, but I've been wanting to grow food indoors for a long time. And this seemed like the perfect system. And I do need the grow lights. So I got some grow lights that they recommend. And they're working on their own system of grow lights that there's a light for like each level, each module. And that you can, because I got the one, you get the one they recommend, you get that credited towards their lights. And I think it's really the way to go with food now, period, because this is not going to be the last pandemic. There's only one way that we can prevent this or reduce like 75% less risk, and we know what that is to stop eating animals. I mean, anything else we do is just not going to work unless we also apply that, and because they all start from animals, and it's not just wet markets, it's all of it, you know. So but I don't think enough people are still getting that message. I think people are being really stubborn, you know. It's very sad.
Yeah, they're in their comfort zone, and I know doctors that they know already about how horrible it is to keep on eating animals. I mean, the COVID-19, the swine flu, the mad cow, the bird flu, Ebola, SARS, all those comes from animals.
Yeah.
And it's unbelievable that there's a lot of people that we think they have enough consciousness because they've been in the medical field and they know, but then they're very stubborn. They don't want to change their mind. They want to keep on satisfying their mouths with blood, animal blood, and it's it's on them. Unfortunately, humanity, well, the most vulnerable have to pay a high price for those type of irresponsible people.
I know that in places that are less developed, less industrialized countries, where people are very poor and people don't have nearly the things that we just take for granted, they've already been suffering the results of climate change. They haven't been able to grow the food. There's like, even though I'm vegan, I know that there are some remote coastal villages that have depended upon fishing for centuries. And they don't really have the option to not fish, and they haven't been able to because the oceans have been so decimated from fish, and it's just such a mess. And climates are changing, and a 2,000 square mile sheet of ice either just broke off or is about to break off of Antarctica.
Wow.
And it's really, so many things are a mess. And primarily, like, there's a lot of things we need to do, but unless we really just get our shit together and stop eating animals, fowl, and fish, and literally just 100% plant-based diet, unless we do that, all those other things will just be in vain. It's really true. And just, I've just, been researching and listening to people that research, and just too much. The evidence is overwhelming. So.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see where this goes. We'll just pray for the best.
The way I see it, there are 3 things that we must do with tremendous energy. Go vegan. 1,
Go vegan.
2,
2,
cool the planet with SRM. And 3, go collectively super intelligent, because we need the collective IQ in order to accomplish the first 2 things in time. And James, I think were you about to say something, James?
Yeah, no, I was just going to go back to something that Myra said there about the symptoms of the COVID and about it hanging in the air for 3 hours. And I was going to just confirming that is true. It does hang in the air in a confined space and not so ventilated for about 3 hours. But it then settles on surfaces and it lives for 9 days. It's proven up to 9 days on any hard, shiny surface like stainless steel or hard plastics. It'll live for 3 days on soft items like clothing and things like that. Although some say 9 days on some clothing as well if it's not washed.
Can you post a link to that research?
Yeah, I'd have to go and find it. The YouTube video we watch here.
I've been hearing all kinds of different things, and it seems unlikely that any virus could survive that long because it's actually quite fragile. I know it hangs out in the air, but I would like to see a link to that, if you can. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll have to just go off. I'll switch off the thing and I'll find the video and I'll post the URL here on it for you. It's actually a YouTube video that one of the people that I've been following. He's an English works in the medical field in hospitals here, and he's retired now. But he's posting videos on YouTube. I think he was interviewed on one of the American news channels there recently as well, for being one of the ones for giving out most accurate advice, because he does kind of explain the statistics very, openly and very simply for people to understand. But yeah, from what I can go and this is not just from him either. You see, there's a number of people that I've been watching, but even with the World Health Organization's information and everything else, they do know that it lasts definitely for up to 3 days, 4 days on a surface, especially a hard surface. So it's also asymptomatic, which means that even though you're not showing any symptoms of it,
well, that's why cleaning is so important. Like soap and water is the best, because soap breaks it down.
Getting back to what you said about the masks, given that people can be asymptomatic, which means that they could be walking around for initially they thought 2 weeks, but it can possibly be up to walking around for nearly a month without showing
Wow.
any symptoms, but all the while you're
Really?
contagious. Yeah, but all the while you're contagious. So if you're breathing on surfaces or your any moisture from you is landing on surfaces, then you could be spreading it. Or if you're in too close a contact with other people, you could be spreading it. So I think the masks
Wow.
are vital for anyone that are going out, whether it is just to protect themselves from others or to protect others from them, because they don't know whether they have it or not yet. Because no one really does know whether they have it now or not, unless they have been sticking to the rules of staying in and monitoring their progress over the last number of weeks. If you've been in a couple of weeks, over 2 weeks anyway, at least without showing any signs, that's a good thing anyway. But at the moment, you can't even take that for certainty that you're clear. So I would urge people to be more patient and stay in a little further, but do observe wearing a mask going out, even if it's not just to protect you, but to protect others around you.
Right.
And
Right.
there's masks. They're already after proven that some of the masks aren't even helping some of the medical staffs in the hospitals as well. Like so, but it is a prevention from anyone who has the virus from spreading it out, because they're containing it within their own face. So just you could make your own masks out of any type of cloth really, and sterilize it. Bleach kills everything. Bleach is known to kill the virus anyway. Ordinary household bleach, raw bleach, will kill the virus. So clean down your surfaces with raw bleach, diluted bleach, or alcohol.
You can also
Raw,
throw it in the wash.
yeah,
You
throw it in
can
the
throw,
wash.
because I'm trying to use as little chemicals as possible, and bleach is so harsh. So I do have some bleach, but I use it very sparingly, and I won't use like these. And because I've been home and I've been very careful, I bring packages in. I literally wash with soap and water every single package. I wash off all the produce. I take things out of the box. I leave the box by the door and bring stuff in and wash it all, let it dry, and change my clothes. When I wear out my clothes, I change them right away. I'm careful, put them in a bag, and so things like that. And because I'm living alone, I just my 4 kitties, and I've been out almost nothing. I've hardly been out at all, and I'm very, 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 very careful. So I'm not, super washing my hands all the time at home, but I am spending a lot of time in the kitchen, so I'm washing, that way. But I've been very, very careful with the groceries, and I'm actually had something delivered today. The same thing, I got the tower delivered, and I took everything. I left the box outside for a little while because it was in cardboard, and I left it outside because sun also kills viruses. Don't like sun. And then I just took everything out of the box outside, brought it in, cleaned it all, and put it up. So those are the kind of precautions that are real easy to do at home, and they, a little bit of a pain, but those are the things that I think will really help protect us. But I am trying to use as few chemicals as possible, because especially the antibacterial we know isn't going to do shit for it. And most of the soaps they're antibacterial. People are using them feverishly, but it's not going to kill the virus. But you can wash the stuff off, and that's the best thing to do. Soap, everything I've read about it, they say it's very fragile, actually. Obviously, until it gets in your body, but drinking a lot of water, drinking a lot of liquids. If you do get any in your mouth or throat, you can wash it down into your stomach, and that kind of thing. But wearing plastic gloves, especially, even maybe more than a mask, I don't know, but especially that will keep you from getting it on your hands and then putting it on your face.
Yeah. Well, I mean, only wear the mask when you are and have to go out, basically, for you, as I said.
Yeah.
Because they don't recommend wearing it too long, especially if it's a homemade mask, because your own moisture will build up in it very quickly, and that can actually attract the virus quicker. So it's just
gosh.
yeah. So but if you make your own homemade masks, and if you have 99.9% isopropyl alcohol, you can do a solution of alcohol and water it's 60% water to 40% of the alcohol, and you put that in a fine mist spray bottle. So when you come in the evenings, you can spray your mask down with that, because like as you do there, now I do exactly that. When I get food brought to me here, if anyone brings food to me, because I have a vulnerable,
Right.
I'm vulnerable to this COVID because I have underlying issues. So people bring me my food as well, but I will I'll take in the food, and I will spray down the packaging, and I will remove the food then from the outer packaging and dispose of that,
Right.
and put away the inner packaging for storage. But I would make sure that I sprayed it with the alcohol and everything, cleaned it down first before I did that. And again, would continue to wash my hands thoroughly after that then as well. But those are the precautions I have to take, but they're necessary. And people need to realize that there are very necessary precautions that we now need to start taking, because we can be walking around feeling as happy and or not happy, but feeling healthy as anything. And unfortunately, we could be carrying it for a number of weeks and passing it everywhere. Like, so it's vital that we do wear masks when we go in coming into contact with anyone. And I'd urge anyone anyway to go into, when they're going into any situation, even though the shops everywhere worldwide, they do the same here in Ireland and everything else, with the markers on the floor and everything, and the gloves and the hand sanitizers coming in the door and everything are available. Masks aren't available, but that's because they're in such shortage, because they were all swept up so quickly. And the hospitals are in dire need of the medical ones, the ones that are already sterilized. And I have no objections to them getting them, because it's quite simple for anyone to make our own. We just have to be vigilant, that's all. And that's all I'd say. It's just being vigilant and extra precautious about our own hygiene, and for those around us more so than for
How's
ourselves.
Ireland been doing? You have any cases there yet?
Well, I didn't look at the statistics today now, because I've been on this conversation since the start of today. But up until yesterday, I think we were up close to about. We're close to the. We're in the hundreds. We were in the hundreds. You know, we're getting to that stage now. But or the thousand, a couple of thousand, I should say, that are infected now. But like, we're slow, because we're probably one of the last in Europe to start. We're a couple of weeks behind England, put it that way.
Wow.
And England being about 2 weeks behind Italy, and so on and so forth. So, but you can't judge it that way in the sense, because each population is different,
Right.
and exponential growth has a way of creeping up, no
That's
matter what the
true.
number, no matter what the number is, and the smaller the number, I think that exponential growth it can build up quicker, I suppose. But per capita, like the statistics are that it does look that it's working out at about a 3% from the people who get it, and about 80% of those people, or up to 85% maybe, are only going to suffer mild symptoms, but they are highly contagious while they're having those symptoms, which is a good thing, obviously. Like, but initially I think it was a terrible thing that happened at the start, was that initially it was kind of it was envisioned as something that was just attacking the elderly and the vulnerable, the vulnerable in society, and that was a really bad call from the start, because it automatically gave a lot of people the idea that they were free from it or safe from it, and that was a bad call from the start. And we're all vulnerable. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, the statistics are showing that Italy is probably the best country to look at to do their statistics, because they've been dealing with it now. Outside of China, they've been dealing with it longer, and they have a large population, and the exponential growth now is really starting to kick off there as well. Like, so
Italy, it was just horrible.
Yeah, they're up to 1,000 deaths a day now, nearly.
What?
You know, yeah, 800 and odd, 800 and odd deaths a day, 700 to 800 and odd deaths a day for the last week or
Still?
so. Anyway, like, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. They seem to have been kind of leveling off for a small while, but it's going up.
oh.
It's jumped again, and Spain are the same now as well, and England's numbers are increasing, and as your own, America's numbers are increasing now as well, and that's why I'm urging anyone that's listening, like, about the mask situation going out, and about observing those simple rules and those hygienic rules, that
Oh my God.
you are going to be saving lives, and possibly your own families as well, because you have to think about it that way.
I just went on to
Everywhere
CNN.
is going to be affected. Like, everywhere is going to be affected. At the moment, Ireland
Yeah.
is holding its own, and we as a community, or a country of communities, as we are a country of communities. That is definitely what makes the Irish unique in that sense. We are a
Yeah.
country of little families, like, I suppose. And we unite together when there's a reason to unite together for a common good. And
Sounds lovely.
yeah, it is, but it's just a matter of the urgency being realised. So unfortunately, there's other urgencies that are going on in the world that we are aware of, that are not brought to the fore here in Ireland. But that's something that's what led me to this platform. But the COVID is in everyone's face now worldwide, and yeah, people just need to start just adhere to the. They're not rules, they're not regulations, they're not orders.
And Maryland it is.
They're common sense
yeah.
for your own sake, and for the sake of your
Right.
loved ones, and for those people, the vulnerable in society. That's all they are. They're
Have they
sense.
closed down restaurants and bars in Ireland yet?
Well, we've closed down weeks and weeks. We were the first, so we closed down weeks before England. That's what I'm saying.
Wow, really?
We observed the threat straight away, and we acted on it straight away. We shut down. Now, we could have acted quicker. I have no doubt about that. But there's no point. Like, hindsight makes prophets of us all, and
yeah.
A lot of countries approach this in different ways, and
right.
some will, like, all will eventually, when this all is over and done with, because it will pass. Unfortunately, it's going to be with us for a while. It will pass, but it's going to be with us for a while, and not just weeks or months, unfortunately. But it's only after it passes, and when we have the time to evaluate it, that we'll understand it.
I just found this here: 15,000 coronavirus victims have perished in Italy since February 23rd. It's not that long ago. 15,000 people in Italy.
Yes, and
now it's heading south in Italy. Oh my God.
Naples is going to be a mess.
It's so sad.
And then the African megacities are going to be a real mess. Not to mention the Brazilian megacities. Oh my goodness.
A food delivery truck was hijacked in Italy.
I saw a video at in the equator of how people are just dying on the streets, how they just all of a sudden they collapse, they have a respiratory, how do you call that? Like a respiratory attack? No.
From the coronavirus?
Yeah.
In
Ecuador? Yeah, in the equator. And how they just collapse in the street, and then because there's no, I mean, they're not as privileged as United States and Mexico is. The body's right there, like nobody picks them up. It takes them like 3 to 5 days for someone to go and pick them up, because I guess they're too afraid, because they're not prepared. they're too afraid of the medical crews getting contaminated. And at the video that I was watching early this week, even the priest, he was crying. He had a this very emotional situation where he said that it is just unbelievable that they're having to even burn the bodies on the streets so they don't smell, you know how the body smells after that. And so the virus can avoid it from spreading also. So it's sad, it's devastating. I cannot even imagine myself how, like right now, they don't even have as much as contagious people. I cannot imagine how it might get within this next 2 weeks. Two weeks ago here in Arizona, there was only maybe 2.5 weeks. We only had 8 people infected and no confirmed deaths. And after that, the amount is already more than, how much is it? I think it's going on 2,000 now of people infected with the virus, and going on maybe 100 deaths. It's sad. It's sad. So someone was watching a movie and he's having a hard time sleeping. So he's gonna jump in the camera here. Where are you? There you are.
Hey, Ryan.
Hi.
How you doing, Ryan?
Good.
Good.
I just wanted to watch a movie.
Yeah. That was good.
Well,
We're just hanging out here. We've been on the this video conference for 16 hours.
wow.
And we've got another 8 hours to go.
That's like probably gonna be in 1 in the morning.
Actually, we'll be going until 6 in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be a long time. I think you're just gonna fall asleep.
Well, guess what, Ryan? Let me tell you something. This is my 8th consecutive 24-hour Friday, Saturday block party. Okay?
Wow.
And I haven't fallen asleep in front of the camera once.
Wow.
Every
It's
Friday.
quiet.
Pardon me? I said
It's quiet.
Fire?
It's quiet.
Oh, it is quiet. Yeah, it is quiet. It's quiet. Yep. You know, we talk a bit, and then sometimes we just sit and think about what we've been talking about. And then we think, and then we think, and then somebody says, hey, what about this? Da-da-da-da-da, when we start talking.
I thought we were, well, my mom was gonna order pizza, but then she changed her mind, said tomorrow.
Yeah, those pizza movie nights.
But we don't order pepperoni. We only order like olives, mushrooms,
vegan cheese.
That too.
Where are you where it's daytime there? It looks like you're outside.
Nope, it's nighttime.
It's nighttime, but there's a background. There's a visual background. Yeah.
And so it looks like a pretty, is that where you live? It looks like a beautiful place.
Oh, we wish we were there right now.
Yeah, that's just like some. I don't what is that thing? I don't have my hand or anything like
It's
that.
my hand. It's my
What?
hand right here.
Oh.
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 Right here.
It's
He got
weird.
confused. He's like, "What is that? What is that arm coming from? I have my arms over here."
Yeah. Well,
You want to say something?
that's why I didn't want to talk because I didn't know anything.
You wanted to say hi to J-Man.
Mm. And why does it keep doing that? It's like,
I don't know.
It's a very quiet night over here.
yeah.
Everything is just totally still. I'm outside. It's cold, but not too cold.
These are probably the worstest, boring days I ever had. Because basically, I mean, tomorrow's not. She's gonna buy me chocolates, gonna get pizza, we're gonna watch a movie. That's a lot of stuff for fun. This
Well,
is
you
the
can still
boldest
have
day.
chocolate and pizza now.
No, I gotta go to sleep.
Oh, I mean, like tomorrow. You can have it tomorrow, right?
These are like the boldest, baddest. I just don't like these days.
Okay.
You wanna know why? Because I hate the flu and I just don't like it. Because I can't go outside, I can't do anything. It gets worse, and then it gets worse and worse. And then, boom, the whole library will explode.
Yeah, he's just worried because he cannot go outside, and they haven't had school yet. The teachers, the schools, they can't organize themselves to find out how are they gonna finish the school cycle. So
When
he's pretty bored.
You know
I'm
what I would recommend, Ryan?
well, I'm so bored. I think I'm homeless right now.
Homeless.
Well, you know what I would recommend, Ryan?
Hmm.
Is that you get a good book and you sit in a comfortable chair or sofa or wherever you're comfortable and start reading the book.
I don't have no book.
Your mom could probably pick out a good book for you.
I don't think we have books. Oh yeah, we have some. But
Yeah, the books that we have here, already read them all. So we're out of books. We were going to the store to thrift stores every once a week or twice a week to get at least 2 or 3 books or 5 books sometimes. And we haven't done it this last 3 weeks now. So yeah, I'm gonna order some yarn from Amazon.
to make a God's eye.
Yeah, to make the God's eye with the cross and do activities with the yarn.
But don't buy yarn for a cat. Because we don't have no cats, plus I'm not a cat. I'm bored.
What did you do today?
Nothing, just sat on the couch.
No, you didn't.
Did you watch any movies?
Yeah, I watched this.
What did you watch that you liked?
I don't know what it's called. Well, I think it's Over the something. But yeah. And I was just about to watch Album 2. But
It's time to go to sleep.
that's the days I hate. go to sleeping. I want to
Yeah,
stay
he is
up.
very hyperactive and he needs to be busy. He plays sports.
I want to stay.
Hold on, baby. He's always playing sports, either t-ball, baseball, or football. So he's the type of kid that we need to always keep him busy, or otherwise he turns our homes backwards, upside down. It only takes him like 10 minutes to trash everything, to trash the whole apartment.
But you guys can go to the park in the daytime, right?
Nope.
We do. We've gone to the park.
But I hate it.
He doesn't like it because he's not allowed to go in the playground.
Mm.
And he usually likes to play basketball when we go to the park, but I don't let them play basketball because of the just balls bouncing in the surface and a lot of people sometimes playing, you never know.
Yeah. That's a good.
Yeah, so he gets very bored at the park too. He's the type of kid that he needs to have his hands busy.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, so it's challenging for him and for me.
Well, you know what could be cool, Maida? If you can get some wooden blocks. Because when I was Ryan's age, all the way up to literally when I was 18 years old, I used to love to play with blocks. Because what you can do with blocks is you can see how big of a tower you can build. And that way, you know, one moment he's down on his knees and then he's up high, and, you know, it gives him something to do with his hands to build something cool. So that might be good. Something to do with his hands where he's building something.
The only thing I can do is play Xbox all day.
He likes Legos. I mean, he builds beautiful things with Legos, but
Good.
he left all his Lego box at his dad's house.
Mom, why I don't allow my Legos to come here?
Why?
Because I lose them.
You lose them. I know. You lose everything.
Plus, I used to have money, but you just wasted all.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you said you would give me more money, but you never got me more money. Now that is a one.
Yeah. Tomorrow we'll go to the store and I'll give you some money so you can spend it there.
Yay.
Okay, it's time for you to say night-night to everybody.
Night, night, good sleep. Don't ever wake up.
Uh-oh. All right.
Why did you say that?
Have a good night, Ryan.
Good night.
Good night, Ryan. Have a
Wait,
good
why
sleep.
is it not showing?
You need to get closer.
That's weird.
Okay.
Like it sometimes goes there and then there and then there. No.
Ugh. 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 Late night at the block party.
Right there.
Oh. Ow! That hurt. Why is it not showing? Why is it not showing me?
Because the camera is off. Just say what you have to say.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry for what?
Saying to never wake up.
That was really rude. Apologies to everybody.
Sorry.
No problem, Ryan. Apology accepted. We love you, Ryan. And even when you make mistakes, we still love you. And it's all good, okay?
Good night.
Have a good night, Ryan, buddy. Looks like James accidentally popped out. I'm sure he'll be back. Hmm. I'm going to get a couple snacks. I'll be right back.
All right.
Hey, James, I told everyone that you had probably hit the wrong button.
No, no. Can you hear me now? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, just fine.
No, no. I was trying to talk there for a while, and even when Ryan was on there as well. But my mic wasn't working for again. That's happened a number of times now. I think after so much time, I don't know what it is, but my mic just seems to go off anyway. But I have to literally log out, go back to the original link, and come back in to get it to work again. Otherwise, it just will not work. Like even when I unmute it, nobody can hear me. So yeah,
Sure. Well, welcome back. I'm glad you're back.
no worries. Well, in truth, anyway, I was saying just prior to realizing again that my mic was off. I was about to say anyway that it's just gone 6:30 in the morning here now, so I might try and catch about an hour of sleep or so, because I know this is the lull in the night, and I'd like to be able to, I'd like to be a bit fresh in the morning as well for when I know more people will start coming in again there as they wake up in different parts of the world. So Emery, you're there anyway for a while to keep, and Nancy to keep Jamie and company. I'm going to be still tuned in, but I'm going to have a snooze for an hour.
Yeah, snooze
Yeah.
long. There's plenty of hours before we wrap up, so get some good sleep there, James.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go to sleep soon too.
Yes.
So thanks for hosting this, Jamin. It's really nice to connect again.
Heck yeah, great to see you, Nancy. Thanks for coming.
Thank
We're
you.
here every
All right.
we're here every Friday, Saturday, and then on Tuesdays as well.
And my parting words are, may everyone be safe and well, and go vegan.
Woo! Awesome.
Thank you.
Great to see you, Nancy. Have a good night.
Okay, bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye.
Take care, Nancy.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Alrighty. Well, have a good sleep, James. And we'll see you when we see you.
Sorry, Jim, and were you calling me there because I was just plugging out my earphones?
Oh, I was just saying have a good night. Have a good sleep.
Oh, all right.
And we'll see you soon.
Okay, man. Take care. I'll talk to you in a bit.
Thank you. See you soon.